Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Um, Today I'm just starting up a new video. Uh, I just do them whenever I feel like. I don't plan them at all, but yeah, I'm just going to give you an update and tell you what I'm doing and just show you around and whatever. Anyway, before we get started, please subscribe, like the video, share with a friend, and let's get into it. Okay, so first I am starting off at uh, the only plants still in a greenhouse. I've made my decision about which one to keep, and I have the knife to do the deed down there. I will tell you in a minute. This actually may surprise you, especially if you saw the last update. Okay, so I've come around the front here. I'm going to pull this away, give you a better view. See this one over here? It's got a nice vine, healthy. Actually had to move the greenhouse over this way. It's about a foot. This thing right here is growing about 6 inches a day. 2 days ago, the vine tip was right there. So, yeah, nice growth on this one. I really like it. But last update, that one was longer. This one was barely starting to vine out. So, I don't know what it was, but both of them went into this like weird, funny stage. You see, that one had a kind of yellowish small leaf. This one grew out of it. This one didn't, so I don't know what it is. It's just kind of funky. It's not really growing right. The leaves are just wilting all the time, like that. I don't know exactly what it is. I've had this happen to my plants before, so I'm gonna get that one out of here, and then we'll check on the other plants. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get in here, grab the knife, get an angle on the stump. Now with these things, you always cut them out. You don't pull them up. Pulling them up damage the roots of the other plant. So right away, if I put it like this, all the way up until the vine tip looks like a healthy little plant. I mean, like, vine tip almost looks like it's gonna straighten out, grow out of it, but it's already so far behind that other one that I just didn't want to bother. So yeah, the deed is done. Let's toss it to the animals. There you go, guys. You better not mess up, plant, in here. You're the only option I've got. Okay, let me see. This stump is still in there. That thing should actually live for a couple weeks before the roots die out. Anyway, let's get on to the other two. Okay, so these two here are the 1477 Caspers and the 2350 Morse. I have the shade pulled off them right now. I do that early in the morning so the sun's not too intense, so they can get as much sun as possible. The Caspers is just starting to wilt a little bit. Not the Morse though. I like that. It's more heat resistant. In fact, I'm thinking I want to keep the Morse. I'm still gonna probably stick with my initial decision. First, I'm coming off. Look at the stumps. This one looks like a healthy, nice stump. It laid down straight. That one's kind of twisted. It's got a ton of cracks in it. I mean, the plant's healthy. It's got nice secondary vines starting to come out further up. This one, that secondary vine, I had buried that and it grew out. and then get a nice secondary growing out there. So what I'm doing with the vine pattern this year is I'm actually going to grow it all, the secondaries straight backward as it grows out. It's maybe I'll show a picture on the screen or something, but yeah, so I'm going to grow the secondaries straight back, and depending on how well the tertiaries do, I'm going to get a pumpkin that's probably going to set somewhere around there, and then I'm going to start growing the vines forward after the pumpkin, but we'll see. So, yeah, I'm going to show you these secondary vines on this plant don't start showing up until right about here, and then they're pretty healthy after that. That one has some nice, the Morse has nice secondary vines. It's trying to root in right there. I'm actually going to bury vines and maybe show you that in a clip. But a lot of people would actually keep this plant over the Morse, but for me, the Morse is just better, more healthy. I am not going to cut out this Casper's yet. I'm probably going to leave it another week just to see if something just disastrous happens with one of these two plants or something, because I do not want to be too hasty. But other than that, I'm probably going to keep the Morse, and I'm going to have to cut that one out. That one out right there. I do not really want to cut that plant out. It's kind of hard to do for some reason. I mean, they're just plants, but you know. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing for vine burying this year is I'm going to just scoop up some of this dirt into this pot, and then I'm just going to put it on top of the vine and cover it just like that. I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you how, I'm going to just show you how I'm going to be doing that, basically. Okay, so I got some dirt in there. Coming over here. Here's my brother's squash. Move that to the side. Whoops, dropped it. It'll be okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on that one right there. Actually, yeah, that one right there is rooted in. So what I'm going to do with the main vine, I'm not going to bury, like cover really the main vine. I'm just going to encourage the roots on the bottom to grow on this main vine right here. I'm only going to bury the secondary vines because I don't want to worry about rot on the main vine later on in the season. That's what a lot of the giant pumpkin growers are doing, so I'm just sort of copying. I'm going to get those covered up and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay, so I'll show you what I did. All I sort of did was make sure it was mounted up, there was a good connection on the bottom, so that root on the bottom can grow out nicely. So I only do that to the ones that are actually touching the ground. I don't force the vines to the ground or anything, because that's not good for them. Nice colored leaves. I like to see that dark green. It's a little bit nitrogen bloated, but that's fine. The vine tip spray is way in there. I just moved this marker this morning, see, and it's already grown that much. So, yeah, nice growth on these plants. I'm gonna do the other one, and then well, you know what? I'll just send the clip for today for now. So, yeah. Okay, it's the afternoon now. I've recentered this greenhouse over this 1643. I'm trying to give it as much time here as possible, so I just flipped it diagonally, and now the tip's got another foot or so to go, so that means maximum another 2 days on here before I have to put something bigger over it, like I did with those plants. But yeah, the other one was just crappy. This one's doing great. Please, guys, fingers crossed. Prayers that this one doesn't do that, because it did kind of start like that for a little while. It grew out of it, but I don't want it to go like that again. Anyway, that's it for now. Alright, so something bad happened, and it's over with those two plants over there. I'll explain in a minute. But first, I'll show you this plant to give more of a positive note to start off this clip. You see where that vine is? Back on the last clip, which was like yesterday, or it might have been the day before, but the vine tip was right there. So that's like 1.5 feet in less than 2 days. So it's pacing about 1 foot a day right now. It's pacing about 1 foot a day right now, and the plant looks healthy. It's really overcast today. Predicting heavy rainfall and possibly hail. So over there I've got shade cloth up there just to protect these plants from the hail so that it doesn't kill them. The mint's doing good. I'm trying not to make this clip too long though. Just to focus back to show you a little bit better. The only issue is I haven't had secondaries come out very well this year. Like this plant is growing fine outwards, but just starting to get secondaries to pop. Like then there's that one, which is fairly decent. That one, this one. I'm probably gonna give them some nitrogen-based fertilizer to give this plant some nitrogen-based fertilizer just to get it to pop out the secondaries a little bit more vigorously. But other than that, it's great. I really like this plant. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to the other ones. Okay, so moving over here. Right now, it's kind of windy, so I'll just try to talk loudly enough so you can hear me. I don't have a proper microphone, but so if you look at these two plants, you won't really see anything wrong with them from far away. But if I go up close, you'll be able to see right there. Tell you what, it doesn't look nearly as bad on camera. But I'm really upset about this. With this 2350 Morse. Yesterday, I had a bucket propped up against this post with the wind fence. It was really tight against it. It was just to keep the wind fence away from this vine so that it wouldn't smack into it and stuff. But in my efforts to protect this plant, the wind changed direction and it blew away from the fence, and the bucket worked its way loose, and then it changed back, and the bucket blew on top of this vine, and it was rolled completely back that way. Kinked it so bad it's completely cut off flow on the whole top of the vine here. The bottom's still good. That's why this part's still alive. It's not growing real fast. It's just I'm not happy with myself for that. And that has caused me to pick a winner for these two. I am not going to cut out this Casper's yet. I'm probably going to leave it another week just to see if something just disastrous happens with one of these. I may give it another day, just because I'm just a little bit, I don't know. I am so sorry, Frank. I really, really wanted to grow your seed. I was going to grow it. It had better secondary vines. They were growing out nicely, evenly along the whole plant. I had a great one growing out right there. And it was perfect for the waterfall pattern. I was gonna have them trained back there and everything. It was just a a great plant, but I'm sorry I can't grow it for any form of efficiency. You want a good healthy main vine, so I'm gonna have to pick this Casper's because for one, gotta say it is 2 feet longer. So, and it's growing 8 inches to a foot a day. It's stretching out nicely. It's a good, healthy plant. It's got nice secondaries starting to come out. Finally, there's that one. This one here, which is now about probably 1.5 feet long. And then there's that one there. Yeah, so it's doing pretty good. And there's not really anything bad about it, except it's just not as heat resistant as the Morse plant. Again, Frank, I'm really sorry about that. I really did want to grow that seed. I'm sorry to waste it. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do with this plant is I'm going to cut it out, and then I'm going to try and dig up those roots on the main vine and clone this plant with the secondary vines and different cuttings, because I'm going to use the flowers from those clones to pollinate this plant and the other one, because that's another thing I wanted with this one, is to pollinate that plant over there. And then I was going to pollinate the morse with that one right there, because I like both their genetics, but no, I can't grow it because it's not, I'm not sure that vine's going to heal properly. It was really badly damaged. There was only one good spot on the main vine, and I don't want to risk it. I hope you understand me, Frank, if you're watching this. I don't mean to upset you or anything, so I'm going to cut this one out. I'm going to give it another day just because, whatever, and then after that, I'm going to take the clip, be cutting it out, and we'll see how those cuttings, and see how those clones go, because I do want to pollinate these plants with this one and that one with the morse. So, we'll see how it goes. And that'll be it for this clip. Alright, so I was getting ready to cut this plant out, this morse here, but I was doing some research about cloning, and apparently you want to get the clone parts rooted before you cut them off the vine. So that's what I'm going to do. So probably with this Casper's here, I'm going to leave that growing off straight like it is, and move the morse plant and train it over there a bit so it can just stay out of the way of the Casper's while it grows. And then once I've got some healthy, well-rooted cuttings from this morse over here, which I really wish I could have kept. I liked it better. I would have kept it. But, I guess beggars can't be choosers. And I'll get this set up and I'll show you what it looks like afterward. Okay, so I've sprinkled some azos on the new nodes to help it root in a little bit better. Now I'm going to get it buried up so it can be the clone for this plant. So hopefully I can get this to pollinate this one and that one over there. We'll see what happens. Okay, now I've got that one buried in there. I may take one from the main, as a whatever. This was the only secondary vine on this plant long enough to take a clone. I'm going to let that get it rooted in probably in another week or two. I will cut that out. We'll see. Anyway, that's it for this video. It's getting kind of long. Anyway, before I end the video, I just want to say, cross our fingers. Pray that I don't screw up this other one. And hopefully I can get a giant pumpkin. I really would like to beat that New Mexico state record this year. Anyway, all you other growers, keep them growing. Catch you next time.